In today's YouTube video, guys, we are going to be taking a look at the new best controller settings to use here in Modern Warfare 3 Season 3. Now, if you're having any trouble with your aim, your accuracy, your gun skill, you came to the right video because I do guarantee after you finish this video, you are going to improve in that KD, higher kill games, getting your first MGB nuke, or even your first 100 kill game. So if you guys are new here and find this video to help, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with noties on, and let's get into it. Maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you're new to this video and don't know if you can trust my settings or builds. Here are my stats. Out of 97,000 kills right now, I do have almost an 8 KD here in Modern Warfare 3. My highest kill streak is a 98 kill streak, 98 kills without dying, and also my highest kill game is 246. One thing that does help me out a ton here with my settings though is my controller, which I use an aim controller. If you want a new controller, you may need one and want something better than a Scuff or a Battle Beaver, make sure you go in the description or the pinned comment and go buy yourself an aim controller. I do guarantee if you buy one, I guarantee a first 100 kill game and a first MGB nuke the day you get it. Make sure to go buy one. Now, getting to my settings, guys, we are gonna start with the controller settings here, which is obviously the most important thing here in today's video, guys. And for the first thing that we're gonna be talking about here, guys, is gonna be the controller vibration. Now, not too many people may think this, but this is actually pretty important. A grenade exploding, a door bashing open, just everything here in Call of Duty can cause a vibration. You get into a gunfight, your controller starts spazzing, it can throw your aim off, and like I say in my videos, the smallest things here in Call of Duty can get you killed. If it's a setting, if it's something in game, something can happen, throw your aim off, get you killed. It does happen all the time, so 100% you have to get used to it. It may take a couple of days or so, but having the controller vibration off is going to help out a ton, so make sure to have that off. Next, guys, we have our dead zone inputs, which I went ahead and redone all my settings here for my dead zones, which I do believe these are the best dead zone settings here in Modern Warfare 3 for a controller player. Now, for my left stick, I do have it at 0, so I don't have to press down hard on my analog stick to run. This can make it a little bit more sensitive, so my analog sticks aren't taking as much of a hit, which is going to help my controller be a little bit more healthy here. We are going to keep our left stick and our right stick maximum input at 99. You don't want to change anything on that. And then we're going to put our right stick minimum input at 2. I wouldn't go any lower than this, just because you're going to start making it's going to start aiming for you, and you don't want that. You still want to have full control of your analog sticks and everything. And then what we're going to be doing for our left trigger and our right trigger is put it at 0, 0. So this can help just be a little bit more sensitive on the triggers. Maybe you have a new controller, and this is going to be very helpful if you have a controller that has trigger stops in it and everything. But still, if you don't have anything like that, using a plain controller, these are some really good settings, so make sure to go ahead and copy these down. Next, guys, we have our aiming settings here, which my horizontal and vertical sensitivity here is at 7.7. I'm not going to change anything. And I saw in my last video, on my settings video, a lot of people were saying they're like at 2020, 1919. I just think that's too crazy. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Honestly, I feel like you're overlooking your targets, you're over missing your shots and everything, and it may be just because you're on that high sensitivity. I would recommend a 7.7. If you're running thing any lower, I would bump it up to a 7.7. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, you're not overlooking, you're not underlooking. It's just perfect in my opinion. So if you want to try this, I do recommend 7.7, which in my opinion is the best sensitivity here in Modern Warfare 3. Now, for the ADS sensitivity multiplier, I have mine back at 95 here, 0.95. I had mine at 0.90 for a little bit, which I feel like I was moving a little bit too slow, so I went back up to 0.95. You could even go back to 1.00 if you really wanted to, but I feel like 0.95 is just perfect. You know, it's not too fast, it's not too slow. It's kind of just perfect in my opinion, so I would run this. I do recommend 0.95. I wouldn't go any lower than 0.85 if you do change anything like this. This is like advanced changing here in my opinion, but 0.95 is in that sweet spot. I feel like it's the sweet spot here. Now, for the aim response curve, we have it dynamic. We're not going to change that. I tell you, every settings video I have uploaded here in Call of Duty, I mean, every single Call of Duty video setting, dynamic aim response curve type that has this setting. Dynamic is by far your best option here in Call of Duty. There's nothing to change about it. Dynamic is the best, so make sure to have this on. Now, we're going to jump down to our aim assist settings here next, and we have our target aim assist, and we have that on. If you have this off, I don't know what you're doing. You're playing this game wrong. Go ahead and turn that on. No, we don't have to talk about it any longer. Aim assist on, make sure to have that on. Your aim assist type we're going to have back on default, which I've seen a lot of people say that Black Ops was nerfed. They actually buffed it somewhere at the late of Modern Warfare 2 just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. There's a lot of pros that still run the Black Ops aim assist type, which is still good, but I went back to default a little bit before Season 3 dropped, and my aim has been fire. It's been point on, and I have a lot of you guys been saying that, like, my gameplays have been phenomenal, my aim's on point and everything, which default aim assist is going to be your best go here, so make sure to have this on as well. Now, we have our gameplay settings here, which there's only a few things that we need to change here, but the first thing, very important that you change, is going to be the automatic sprint, which we're going to put on automatic tac sprint. Now, having this on, I have to say, personally, for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people as well, this helps us get more aggressive. We're moving faster around the map. We're not doing those light jogs. We're not sprinting. We're tac sprinting. We're just going crazy, full running around the map. That's going to help us be more aggressive, and if you're starting to learn how to be aggressive and get that run and gun type of play style, this is going to be your first thing that you need to start getting used to. Automatic tac sprint. You got to know when to stop running, when you can run, when it's safe to run and everything, but automatic tac sprint is going to be very helpful if you're trying to be aggressive, get those high kill games, make it easier on you, so make sure to have this on. Now, our tactical sprint behavior, we're going to put on single tap sprint. Now, having this on, this is actually banned in the competitive scene. People say this is like overpowered. It helps people like submachine gun players like Shotzi and Abizi and Pred. It makes them better. That's what they say. So they have this GA'd. It's banned in the competitive scene. You can't run it. So we're going to run it here in pubs. We're going to run it in rank play. It doesn't matter what you're using this for. It is going to help you out a ton. So make sure to have this on. Now, I will say everything mantle related, ground mantle, automatic airborne, automatic ground mantle hang, have these off. You don't want to have automatic mantle on or anything that's going to automatically make you jump over stuff. You don't want that. If you're in a gunfight, you're jumping around, you don't want to accidentally jump over something and start hip firing and make you lose your gunfight or anything. So having these off is going to help you in those gunfights if you do jump around like myself. And then we have our final thing here, which is our slide dive behavior, which I have mine on slide only. I know people are starting to use hybrid, which for me, I only care about sliding, which we slide cancel and everything like that. So it is a skill gap if you can master the slide canceling, just moving around fast with slide canceling, master that. It is going to help you move faster around the map, so go ahead and have this on as well. Next, guys, we have our graphic settings, which I'm only going over the view part. Like I say in my videos, I have a high-end computer. I just got one recently, so my frames are like 200-300 frames. You know, people don't have that on console. People have lower end PCs, so my display and quality settings are going to be completely different from other people. So we are going to go over our view settings here, which my field of view hasn't changed at 117 still. My ADS field of view is still at affected. If you're on independent, make sure you're playing on affected. You're playing Call of Duty wrong if you're playing on independent. Same with the weapon field of view. If you're playing on narrow or default, you don't want that. You want to play on wide. It makes the weapon smaller just in case a weapon has a lot of visual recoil. It is going to calm it down. Same with that effective ADS field of view. It is going to make it with any weapon that has a lot of visual recoil. It's going to make it not as much crazy. So a lot of people say, why does it look like your gun has no, recoil like mine does? If you have these settings on, it's going to make it feel just the same as mine does. With the same builds I'm giving you, it makes the weapon feel just the same. You have to have these settings on though, so you have to copy these down. Now, we're going to go down to our camera here settings here. We have our world motion blur and our weapon motion blur. We're going to turn that off. If you have this on, it's going to make the game very blurry. We don't want that. Same with the film grain. We don't want our game looking grainy or anything. So we are going to put this down at 0, turn it all the way down. And then the only thing that you need to change here, which I'm sure everyone, like 90% of the people here in Call of Duty that watch this video are only playing first person camera. So having this on 50%, but go ahead and change these all at 50%. It's going to make it where the motion, it's just not going to make it all like the motion sickness. If you get that, it's not going to be as crazy, so make sure to have it on 50%. Now we have our audio settings here next, guys, and there's only one thing I want to talk about, which this segment in this video is very fast, which is our audio mix, which in my headset I am running the Astro A40s, just so nobody has to ask that question in the comments. I have Astro A40s. I've had these for a couple years now. These are probably some of the best headsets you can get as a casual gamer, and even pro players are still running the A40s here. But we do have our audio mix on bass boost, which is going to make your game just a little bit louder. You know, the footsteps are more louder. You can actually hear if they're above you, beside you, underneath you, and everything. This is the only thing I wanted to talk about here, which I feel like this is the only important thing here in the settings. And then getting to our final thing, guys, we have our interface settings, which the only thing I want to talk about here really is going to be the minimap shape, which you want to have this on square. If you have it on circle, it's not the right thing to have on. If you have it on circle, make sure to put it on square. It's going to show more of the minimap. If you have the advanced UAV, the UAV, it's definitely easier to read the minimap rather than the circle, because there's so much more on the square. And then for the final thing here, guys, we are going to go to our player names here and make sure to to have this on full name. Don't have it on the dot. Don't have it on abbreviated. Make sure to have it on full name. So if there's anybody with a long name, they're at such a huge disadvantage because sometimes you can look through walls and everything like that and see their full name. So you get easy wall bangs, and this is honestly just an easy cheat code. But I do recommend these settings here in Modern Warfare 3 Season 3. These are by far the best controller settings in my opinion here. So make sure to copy them down, take a few days and use them and see what your highest kill game was. And if there's also anything that you changed here, let me know in the comment section any of the settings that you changed here. But guys, thanks so much for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.